Welcome, and here we're looking at the S&P 500, and I think one of the interesting points here, though, is that we had the FTSE and the Australian market running in sync. They looked like they were together, and the US markets and the DAX were in a slightly different wave count. Because of this new high here, it really puts the FTSE and the Australian market and the DAX and the S&P 500 all back on the same page, which is a positive move because it just aligns everything up and into the same situation. So that particular situation that we're actually looking at now is that it's probably the alternative third wave being in place here and a fourth wave here. And then the fifth wave, we're looking for 5 waves up through to here, coming into group 2 area through here. So just drilling into that a little bit, and the other markets will be the same as this as well. So basically looking at this old top here as wave 3, or the alternative larger wave 1 here. But it's probably this one here, so a wave 4 to here. Then we've got wave 1, which is quite clear, wave 2, and wave 3 will be moving up here further. There's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still a bit more to go into wave 3 here, then wave 4, and then wave 5 here. So as mentioned, we'll be looking up into this area here. So we've got a few more days of extra highs here in search of that elusive top that we've been looking for. But I'm going to stay with that, and I'm not going to give up on it because when you sort of fall asleep at the wheel, that's when the accidents occur. So we'll track this 5 waves up, and then we'll still expect another high from this point here. I'm not being negative about the whole market. I know that it's positive, but I don't want to get overconfident. We've got quite a few long trades in the market, and just being sort of very cautious at every new high here. And of course, it's the same for the Dow Jones as well. Just cutting into the 15-minute chart here. The alternative count of wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and looking for wave 5 to the ups, 5 waves up to the upside. So we've got a reasonably clear 5 waves in through here for wave 1, back for wave 2, and we'll be looking for wave 3 here. So wave 3 would be up into here, then wave 4 across here, and then wave 5 up through to here. And we would be looking at the medium level up here, 1650 for the Dow Jones in this particular case. And the DAX is the same as well in terms of, also looking at this, it's possible that this is wave 1 as well and wave 2 here like the other ones, but I think it's important to bring them all into line and consider it a wave 3 and 4, and then looking for 5 waves up here to complete. So let's just track that. But what we can say here is that support on the 9.7, if you want to hang in there, will get you to the 9.8 and possibly even higher as well. But I think the 9.8 is important number to trade from because it's the next level from 5 then to 8. And of course the FTSE would be in the same boat as well, but just narrowing in here on a 5-minute chart here, and looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 up here, which I don't think is finished just yet. This is all the third wave here, so this would be the third of the third in here, the fourth to here, the fifth up to here, just for the top of the third here. So if you want to go along here, then you need 68.72 as support, and then trade up to the 6.9 and exit as it can actually from the 6.9, it can pull back to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree. So in that case, it's down here if this is a fourth wave here. But maybe not that far, but expect it to come back into group 2 here. So quick trade up to here. When it pulls back, pick it up again here, and then move up from that point there. The Australian market is the same as well. I did have, a little bit different, but I did have this wave 5 here, but we'll have to look at this as being a B wave up in 3 waves here, and a fourth to here and a fifth here, but still slightly out with one small wave structure than with the other markets, other indices. So, but even so, I still think that we should expect a larger correction across. We can go higher through here, of course, but I think we should expect, a larger correction to come across the 5-5 here. And we can see on the daily chart, if I bring this in here, we can see that the market was strong coming up here on the daily chart, and it has been pushing higher, but you can see that it's not going directly up anymore, is it? Not directly up, but the it's just pretty much sort of it's sort of peeling away now, and we can see that it's on lower volume here as well. We can see that the sellers have come in on this bar here, and it's pushing up here on low volume. Very typical of a fifth wave in Elliott terms, up in the fifth wave on lower volume. So the 5-5 is sort of what we're looking at through here. So we can get a spike to push up through here, and that would be an exhaustion daily bar there as well. We are at the old highs here as well. So as you can see, you can see that we are looking for that that corrective pattern from up in the 5-5 here. And once we've got this here, then we can look at going up there further in that case, but we need to navigate through this here. But as I mentioned, we've got a lot of longs in through here in our Elliott wave on the ASX and the US markets and the English markets and so forth. So we do need to protect them, and we can still see stocks that have a way to go. So when we look at Woolworths here, for instance, here we know that we're looking at, and other markets are the same as this as well. We know that we're looking in a situation like this here. So the Australian market still has further to go up. So that's what we're sort of looking at. We're just trying to navigate this top here and reduces, this is coming into play here, and then buy more coming up through here. So yeah, all good. Alrighty, cheers.